Brigadier Harcharanji, the management of the school, esteemed members of the faculty, and to all the proud young citizens of this great country, India. A very good morning to you all.
Good morning, sir.
And Jai Hind.
Jai Hind.
How's the Josh?
Hi, sir.
Let it be a little higher. How's the Josh?
Hi, sir.
I know you must relate this slogan to the army after having watched the movie. So I thought of beginning with this so that the morale is high as we begin the talk. I'll just have a brief introduction of myself. I belong to Akhnoor only. I have done my schooling from St. Francis Higher Secondary School. Your teacher, Anshul, is my classmate and a very good friend of mine. And we also are neighbors, just next door. I joined the Indian Army after having completed my graduation in Electronics and Communications. I've studied Government College of Engineering and Technology, which is in Jammu only. I qualified the state JKCT CET, and after that I did my graduation bachelor's in engineering from Electronics and Communications. And in the pre-final year of my college, I was selected in the university entry scheme, and I joined the Indian Military Academy in 2014. If I remember the precise date, it was 8th of July. I finished my graduation in May 2014, and 8th of July 2014, I was there in the Indian Military Academy to begin my one-year-long training. And on 13th June 2015, one year later, I was commissioned into the Indian Army, into the Corps of Signals. And after having spent 8+ years in the Indian Army, I have qualified the UPSC with rank 749. I am grateful to the management for having invited me today. It is always a pleasure to come and speak amongst the young population of India, the youth of India, because you need to realize the young people sitting behind. You are not making your own future. Whatever you do while in school, whatever you learn, and how you train yourself will not just determine the future of yourself, your family, but it has an impact on the future of society, on the future of this great country, India. So you need to realize that the future depends on your shoulders. You have a great responsibility. And you will only be able to fulfill the responsibility if you become good in whatever you do. Not just good, be better than before. Compete with yourself, don't compete with anyone. Set your own standards and set standards higher than the previous self. Because when we start competing with others, we may develop an inferiority complex, we may develop a superiority complex, which is not good for us and for the society. We were having a conversation with Brigadier Harcharan, and he was mentioning that I should be grateful to the Indian Army for having given me that thought process that no problem what may is big enough. And yes, I am indebted to the 8+ years. Army shapes the country in different ways. Yes, it is protecting the frontiers, but more than that, it is training boys and making men out of it. And not just men, brave men, responsible men. And India needs more of it. And the schools are the cradle where the future of the country is shaped. I am grateful. The teachers are working selflessly to ensure that they are able to give to this country what this country needs. Young, dedicated and inspired young citizens Don't consider yourself to be weak. All of you are powerful beyond measure. There is nothing that can limit you, but there is only one thing that stops us, and that is ourselves. Only you can stop yourself. Your parents cannot stop you from rising. In fact, they will be happy, your teachers will be happy to see you rising and scaling the mountains. But the only thing that stops us is our fears. Nobody else in this world can dare stop you if you have the fire within you. As I stand before you, I am reminded of the Chetwood Credo. When we are in the academy, trained for 1 year, every day we are made to recite the Chetwood Credo. It is a message. It is not just applicable to the army. I think it is applicable to every citizen of India. It is a three-phrase credo. The first mentions that the safety, honor, and welfare of the country comes first, always and every time. It is the country that will come first, not your own self, not your family, not your religion. It is the country that comes first. If you can stick to that, believe me, India will be proud of you. The second one says, the safety, comfort, and welfare of the men you command comes next. So if you are at a position, you will have certain subordinates who are working under you. It is your own responsibility to ensure that those working under you, with you, their ease, their comfort, yes, the efficiency, the productivity of the organization you are working on has to be maintained. And that has to be supplemented by their own welfare. And the final one says, your own comfort, your own ease, and your own welfare comes last, always and every time. If you can stick to the Chetwood Credo, I don't know how many of you have read it, and how many of the non-military guys ever read it, but this, I think, should be ingrained in the majority of the schools. Because even if 50%, 40% of the students can take it away from the school, I think India will be grateful to these schools and the teachers. We cannot think of our own ease until we have ensured that the men under us are comfortable. And we should never think of our own comfort unless we have ensured that the country has got what it needs from us. The great American president once said, don't think what the nation has done for you. Instead, think what you have done for the nation. As a school-going kid, you might think that what can I do? But remember, you are not just kids. You are cubs. A lion in the making. All of you. All of you. Your cousins, your colleagues, your classmates, and everyone you know are a lion in the making. Don't develop into sheeps. We do not need sheeps. India does not need sheeps. We need lions. The country needs lions. And I see in each one of you a lion in the making. Swami Vivekananda said, weakness is a crime. Weakness is a sin. So don't consider yourself to be weak. You have an indomitable will. The willpower that you have, with the help of that, you can scale any mountain. You can climb the Mount Everest. There was a time in the history when no one scaled the Mount Everest. There must have been the first individual who did it. And today, hundreds of mountaineers every year go and climb the Mount Everest. So nothing is insurmountable. The only thing that is insurmountable is the human willpower. Mentioning about the lion, recently I wrote a poem. I've been reciting this poem in all the schools that I go. But I will do it anyway. Because if it can help you, even 1% of the kids, to develop the lion in themselves, I would think that I've done my job. I'll just recite the last paragraph of the poem that I wrote. It is basically to tell you that you have got insurmountable potential. The only thing that we all need is to realize the potential within us. So the last stanza of the poetry that I wrote goes like this. On the sands of time, don't you wait. On the sands of time, don't you wait. Let it rain, even if it is meant to pour. Because you are a diamond who is invincible to the core. However dark the night, your infinite soul will take you to the shore. What if there are mountains in the oceans? There will be difficulties, always. What if there are mountains in the oceans? Your story is the making of an epic lore. For you have the courage, and that too galore. Because, my friends, you are a lion who is born to roar and be hailed as the king of the jungle. So realize that there will be difficulties. We will fail in certain times. Failure is a part of the success. Because there's nobody who was successful in all the avenues and all the things that we were involved in. Edison, before developing the electric bulb that we use, failed 99 times. I hope all of you must have read that. 99 times that individual failed. But he did not give up. The 100th time, he did not light a bulb. He lit the entire globe. Today, so many years later, centuries later, we are using the electric bulbs in different forms. But that man, having failed 99 times, tells us we all can do it. Failure is important. Don't say that success is the only thing that is important. Success is only built on the foundation of failure. We will all fail. We should fail. Because when we fail, that is when we rise higher. Now I will just tell you a few things that we all should focus upon. I will not take much of your time. But as young citizens, there are certain things that we need to focus upon so that we go on to become good, bright, young and powerful citizens of India, informed citizens of India. First of all of you are studying. But I would urge all of you to club those studies with some kind of physical activity. All of you, I think the present generation is too much into the digital media, into the mobile phones. Do use them. It is a very powerful tool. But don't waste your time unnecessarily. Because remember, you're not wasting your own time. You are wasting the future of India. The future of India does not need young men who will just 24 hours a day, they will just go on watching endlessly things on social media. Use it judiciously. I'm not saying don't use it. It is a very powerful tool for you to connect to the world. But be very intelligent in how you use it. The second thing I would like to tell you is to know and in fact practice respect for your elders from the core of your heart. Today I am standing in front of you and everybody is telling me that I have worked hard. Yes, everyone does. But today I think if I am standing on the mountain, it is not just a mountain of hard work. It is a mountain of blessings. It is a mountain of wishes. उन सब लोगों की दुआएं जिनके साथ मैं जिंदगी में कभी भी मिला, मेरे टीचर्स, मेरे घर वाले, मेरे बड़े, my seniors in the army, all of them, उन सब की दुआओं के पहाड़ पे आज मैं खड़ा हूं. So I would like to tell you that respect your teachers not just for the heck of it, not just in front of them. Respect your teachers, respect your parents. Respect them from the core of your heart, because you never know when these blessings will help you sail the biggest of the mountains. Respect them. It has got power. I have seen that in my life, and you will see too. The third thing that I would like to tell you, I will tell you 5 things. The third one on the list is to dream. Learn to dream, and not just dream. Dream big. Dream infinity. There is nothing in this world that was not born first in the mind and then it was translated into a physical thing. If Edison failed 99 times, it was his imagination, it was his dream that he wants to light up the entire world. So dream and dream big. Who is stopping you from winning an Olympic medal for India? Who is stopping you? Only you. I'm not telling you there is one field today. You can do UPSC. That is just one part of the ocean. There are n number of things you can contribute in the development of the country. You can be a sports person. I have a dream for Akhnoor. I don't know how we are going to materialize it, but you all have a huge role to play in that. I have a dream that Akhnoor has Olympic gold medalists. Why can't we do it? The schools are the time, the age, when you study in the school, that is the time when you have to train yourself. Apart from sports, there are n number of things. There are technology fields that we have today. There are people who would like to go to the defense forces. Let me tell you, defense forces and the experience of the defense forces is unmatchable. I will forever be indebted. I may leave the army, but the army will never leave me. The army in me, the soldier in me will always be alive until the last moment of my life. And maybe even beyond that through you. Because the light we are lighting today should not die with me. You take it to yourself and spread it across. Let us make India a wonderful country, a beautiful country, a developed country, and all of us be the pillars on which India stands. The fourth thing I would like to tell you, very important in today's perspective: tolerance, patience, especially with respect to the disturbances that we read in the news. We need to realize that all of us, as mentioned in the Checkbook Credo, we are Indians first. If we are Indians first, the rest of the things will automatically take care of itself. We cannot say that we are a particular religion first and then we are Indians. There will be disturbances if we keep that psychology. In the army there is no religion. I am not saying do not worship gods. Gods and the spirituality is what strengthens our soul. That is very important. But know that we are all same human beings. Tomorrow you will go to the society, you will be the torchbearers of the society. We do not want a society, a country which is divided. Just know that the person sitting next to you is an Indian first and the last. The rest of the things are immaterial. The rest of the things we can keep inside the doors of our houses. But when we step out of the houses, wear the pride, the flag of the chest in your hearts and in the mind. Just remember that. Take it forward. Not just in this classroom. The entire country needs it today. And the last thing that I need you to remember, the fifth and the last of it, Somebody asked me, I had gone to a school a day before yesterday. What is the best way to motivate yourself? How did you keep yourself motivated when you were down? And they say the best way to motivate yourself is to motivate others. Be a role model amongst yourself. Push each other. Don't pull anyone down. Because when you push each other, when you push your friends, when you push your brothers and sisters, when you push your cousins, then you will realize and you will think that if I am inspiring everyone around me, how can I be demotivated at any point of time? I cannot be. That is the most important way I think we can keep ourselves motivated. So just remember, India needs you, all of you. And India needs strong shoulders, educated soldiers, informed soldiers. And all of you have the potential. Just remember, who knows, one of you tomorrow might go on to become the Prime Minister of India. Don't think that you cannot. You absolutely can. Just have the belief, self-confidence that will take you mountains. I have all these 5 things that I mentioned to you. Just keep a note of it. And in addition to it, if any one of you ever wants to contact me regarding anything, may it be Defence Forces, may it be the UPSC, or any other field. We have friends today who are spread out in various fields. If we could be of help to you in any way, it would be a privilege for us. Before I wind up, I would like to say a small poem that I read, an Urdu poem I read in class 7th or 8th. Before I begin the poem, the word funny, some of you might be aware, the word funny means the one which is liable to extinguish, जो एक दिन खत्म हो जाएगा. So the poetry goes like this. उठ बांध कमर क्यों डरता है, फिर देख खुदा क्या करता है. उठ बांध कमर क्यों डरता है, फिर देख खुदा क्या करता है. ये दुनिया आखिर फानी है, खत्म हो जाएगी. ये दुनिया आखिर फानी है, ये जान दिख दिख जानी है. फिर तुझको क्या हैरानी है, कर डाल जो दिल में ठानी है. उठ बांध कमर क्यों डरता है, फिर देख खुदा क्या करता है. With this, I'm done with this. If any of you having any questions, I would be happy to answer them.
Anyone would like to ask any question to sir?
Good morning, sir. Myself Satam from class 12, stream humanities. I want to ask you that what kind of schedule did you follow during the preparation of UPSC?
Good morning, Satam. This is the most important question that I have received from a lot of students. How did I manage time? What was the schedule? So as you might be aware, the army has a definite schedule. Starting in the morning PT, then we go to the office, then evening we have games. So this was the schedule that had to be followed. So my schedule revolved around the spare time that I had. The only thing that we need to ensure about making the time effective is to ensure that we are not wasting any time. If you can minimize the time wastage, that is liable to happen. But if we can minimize the number of hours that we are wasting, that is the philosophy that I follow. So I did not go out, even when I was on leave. I either did not come to home, or if I came home, then I was indoors studying. So to utilize the time effectively, I minimize the time wastage, and that's how I formulated my schedule.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Anyone else?
Good morning, sir. Myself, Sash, and I am from class 12, Humanities. So my question to you is, why did you leave defense service to join civil services, and what was your motivation to join civil services after leaving defense services?
The motivation behind both the serving in the defense forces and joining this has been the service to the country and the people of India. I joined the defense forces in 2014 as a very conscious decision because I wanted to serve the country. But in 2017, unfortunately, some injury happened, and I had to take a call because, as you know, the defense forces is about fitness, is about running with the men. And if you cannot run with the men, I thought I would not be able to serve the country in this field that effectively. So that is the time when I consciously took a decision that I should look for the civil services. It is not that the army had demoralized me. The army is one of the wonderful organizations, and I am, as sir said, I am indebted and I shall be forever indebted to the army. But I think that due to the injury, I took a conscious decision that this is what I need to do to make sure that my injury is not a hindrance in my service to the country.
Good morning, sir. Myself Sakshi Rajput. I'm from class 11, stream humanities. I wanted to ask, how did you manage to keep yourself focused and how did you build your self-confidence?
Please sit down. First, I will talk about the focus. Army makes sure that we, while doing multitasking, at the same time we are focused on the task at hand. So focus comes naturally when you know that this is what needs to be done. I'll just give an example. Nobody tells you that it is time to eat. Does anyone tell you that 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock is time for lunch? No. Your body tells you that. And you do not need to focus if something is a part of your system. So when you make goals a part of your system, then I think the question of focus does not come. The question of focus will only come when you are diverted from the task, diverted from the goal at hand. When we think that we are doing this, but we also think about this, this, and this, your attention gets divided. I am not asking you not to multitask. Multitasking is the need of the game, need of the hour, because today we need to be multidimensional. But whatever the task at hand right now, that is what needs 100% of focus. And what was the second question?
How did you manage to build your self-confidence?
I think self-confidence is not a day's affair. It starts right from your age, and in fact, your youngsters who are studying in class 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, it is a continuous process. One day, maybe I might tell you that when I was in class, I think LKG, when for the first time my mom dropped me home. I don't have very strong memories of it, but I remember that I cried. I cried like hell when the first day I was brought to the school. So I was very underconfident that time. But over a period of time, it comes naturally when you start participating in things. As school-going kids, participate in everything. Participate in debates, participate in dance programs, participate in singing competitions. Even if you do not have a good voice, I never had a good voice, but I participated anyway. The only aim was to make sure that I do not have the fear of standing in front of the people. Because if you dream big, you are liable to face the public sooner or later. You will have subordinates you need to convince. In the army, at the one command of the officer, a person is ready to sacrifice his life. If you yourself are not confident, then how can the men under you trust you and believe you and follow your orders? So it starts with your age. Self-confidence will come naturally when you are making a conscious decision, and in a couple of years. Even if you are not confident today, start today. And in 2 years, 3 years time, you will see that you are the most confident man on this planet. You are the most confident person. It takes an effort, a conscious effort. But once you've done it, you're there. It is there for life. It is just like learning to walk. Initially, when we are kids, we do not know how to walk, we fall down. But once we have learned how to walk, it is there for life. You may not walk for 5 years, you may be bedridden. But if your legs are fine, when you get up, nobody needs to teach you how to walk. That is how you maintain that.